Ali, right? Ali ibn Musa, Ali, son of the Musa ibn Ja'far, and his title, one of his many titles is Ridha. Anybody knows the meaning of Ridha? What's the meaning of Imam Reza? The one who's pleased with Allah, the one who's satisfied with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, means the one who's content. So it's a quality, inshallah, we pray to Allah to give us, inshallah, experience and have it in our lives. Let's just start with those whose name is, I don't know, let's just make sure. Do you have any Ridha? We have one here, I know, Hassan Reza, but anybody else? Do you have Reza? Yeah, Ahmad Malakuti. Do you have any more Reza? Ghulam Reza? Ali Reza. So we have, alhamdulillah, 4 Reza. Let's just start with Dr. Hassan Reza, inshallah, to come and cut the cake. Recite al-Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Jazakallah khair. Thank you, thank you. Hamid Reza Malakuti, recite al-Salawat. Inshallah. Bismillah. Jazakallah khair. That's right. Aghay Ali Reza Ariyan, recite al-Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Ahsan. Tashakkur. Dr. Ghulam Reza Nikmat, recite al-Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali. Niyati wa khairan, niyati wa khairan. Tashakkur. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Do you have any more Reza that I missed? John. چرا روز عید فطر عید سعید فطر باز بیا انشاءالله بعد میگفتی کات میگن. Please come. Naqi wants to cut the cake, right? Let's go. Recite a salat for Naqi as well. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Well, thank you. And now let's go. Did I miss anyone from brothers? No. Okay, so let's go to sisters. Last week was the Wiladat of the sister of Imam Reza, Hazrat Fatima Ma'asuma. As you know, we did not have a program, so let's inshallah honor Hazrat Fatima Ma'asuma as well. Let's see if you have any Fatima, and I'm pretty sure we do. And do we have any Ma'asuma? So I know Fatima. Let's just start with Fatima al-Amara. Recite the salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. MashaAllah. Thank you. Do you have any other Fatima? Yes? Do we? Ma'asuma Fatima. Fatima. Fatima Khan. Recite the salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. MashaAllah. Any more Fatima and Ma'asuma that I missed? I'm pretty sure we have more, but inshallah they represented those with this name. All the names, alhamdulillah, that majority of us we have. What's your name? Kazim Reza. Recite a salat for our Kazim Reza. MashaAllah. Good job. MashaAllah. Afal. Okay, let's inshallah continue the program. Jana. هستن؟ میکنن که ما بگم والده آقا درسته؟ برای سلامتی همه مادرها یک صلوات ختم بفرمایید. اللهم صل علی محمد و آل محمد.
صلوات علی محمد و آل محمد. اللهم صل علی محمد و آل محمد. با عرض سلام مجدد خدمت همه عزیزان میریم و برنامه امشب در بخش دوم ادامه خواهیم داد. تو آن نهی که دل از صحبت تو برگیرند وگر ملول شوی صاحب دگر گیرند وگر به قهر برانی طریق رفتن نیست کجا روند که یار از تو خوب تر گیرند به تیغ اگر بزنی بی دریغ و برگردی چروی باز کنی دوستی ز سر گیرند روا بود همه خوبان آفرینش را که پیش صاحب ما دست بر کمر گیرند. قمر مقابله با روی او نیارد کرد، وگر کند همه کس عیب بر قمر گیرند. و چند سال نشاید گرفت ملکی را که خسروان ملاحت به یک نظر گیرند. خدنگ غمزه خوبان خطا نمی افتد، اگرچه طایفه زهد را سپر گیرند. وصال کعبه میسر نمی شود سعدی، مگر که راه بیابان پرخطر گیرند. صلوات علی محمد و آل محمد. اللهم صل علی محمد و آل محمد. خب یک بار دیگر تولد با سعادت امام رضا علیه السلام، امام هشتم، به همه شما عزیزان سروران پیروان اهل بیت تبریک و تهنیت عرض میکنیم. در بخش دوم برنامه امشب از طرف برادران محترم حاجی آقای معلم مطلب تهیه کردن که ازشان خواهش میکنم تشریف بیارن و مطلب را که تهیه کردن به سمع شما برسانن. سرسلامتی محترم حاجی آقای معلم همکار، صلوات محمدی پسند ختم بفرمایید عزیزان. اللهم صل علی
بر محمد و اهل بیت محمد صلوات. ولادت با سعادت هشتمین اختر تابان امامت شاه خراسان آقا علی رضا را به تمام شیعیان و دوستان تبریک و تهنیت عرض می نمایم و از خدای متعال خواهانیم تا ما را انقدر وقت مهلت داد تا سال آینده نیز همچنین شبیه را تجلیل نماییم و کسایی که رفتن اونا را خداوند غریق رحمت خود بگردانه و نو ربطه‌ای که دست دادیم میخواهیم که برای شهیدی روی هم یک حمد سوره قرائت کنین که علی شاه نقوی می باشه. بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. الحمد لله رب العالمین الرحمن الرحیم مالک یوم الدین ایاک نعبد و ایاک نستعین اهدنا الصراط المستقیم صراط الذین انعمت علیهم غیر المغضوب علیهم ولا الضالین. بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. قل هو الله احد الله الصمد. صلوات بلندتر ختم کنید و صاحب صلوات معشور شوید. ز آسمان ولایت مهی نمایان شد که از تجلی آن ماه چرخ تابان شد. شهین شهی به جهان پا نهاد در این ماه که خاک مقدم او زیب تاج شاهان شد. بگو به باد صبا بر جهانیان گویم که آشکار ز نو حشمت سلیمان شد. گلی ز گلشن دیر شد عیان که از بویش جهان معطر و خرم چو باغ رضوان شد. ز بطن نجمه و از صلب موسی جعفر طلوع طلعت بدر الدجا نمایان شد. سلین احمد مرسل وصی هفت امام برای یاری قرآن نو دین شتابان شد. ز نام حیدر کرار نام او مشتاق رضا لقب که رضایش رضای یزدان شد. مسیح انفس موسی یدو محمد روی خلیل زاده که آتش از او گلستان شد. چو نور طلعت او ذره ز روز ازل به قلب آدم خاکی رسید انسان شد. قدم نهاد به عالم امیر کشور توس ز نور شمس ضحی عالمی درخشان شد. کسی که غمخور و یاور به وحش و طیر بود، عجب مدار اگر ضامن غریبان شد. به مدح و معجز و وصفش بود بشر عاجز، کسی که ماده او خاتم رسولان شد. بارا گو پیمبر که علی جان من است، هم به جان علی و اسم محمد صلوات.
خب با تشکر و سپاس فراوان از محترم حاج آقای معلم همکار، بخش دوم ما در اینجا به پایان میرسه. If I can have everyone's attention, if you would like to be a good Samaritan and take a part at repairing a masjid at Kabul, Afghanistan, please see Brother Zia Amili. There's a masjid in the name of Imam Zaman, علیه السلام, in Kabul, Afghanistan, that its doom is, deteriorating. So if you would like to take a part on that and repair that, please see him. Any donation is welcome, from $100, no, I'm kidding, from $20, $100, whatever you can. Please see Brother Zia Amili and pay that. Again, there's a masjid in Kabul, Afghanistan, in a Shia neighborhood that is in a desperate need of repair. So please, they asked us to announce it here and, collect some donations and send it over if we can. So please see what you can do. Please see Brother Zia Amili, and from the sister side, please see one of the ladies who are working in the kitchen. That's either, Sister Sohaila or Sister Shakila Bassam. Please see them and pay your donations and let them know that it's for the masjid and Kabul, Afghanistan, repair for that masjid. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you ajr and sawab in advance, inshallah. So before we go to Haji Agha Modares' speech, Haji Agha Modares will have two speeches in English and Farsi tonight, inshallah. And he's going to continue on the last topic that we started a couple weeks ago. And it was description of taqwa. And he's going to elaborate on that tonight again, inshallah. So a friendly reminder about your monthly donations, my brothers and sisters. Please see Brother Zia Amili or Sayyid Razak if he's here, and see where you're standing with your monthly pledges. Please make sure that you bring your monthly pledges up to date. And if you can do a little more every time, it would be greatly appreciated. Our next week's program will be emailed to everyone next week, Monday night or early Tuesday morning. So please check your email for our next week's program. All the programs will be posted to our website at masjid-al-Rasool.com, at our Facebook page at Masjid al-Rasool as well. And all of these programs that we are having, our brothers Malakuti, they will upload it to Instagram, Telegram, and also to YouTube. The channel is Al-Rasool, so you can go back if you missed it, or if you want to listen to Haji Agha Modares' speech again, you can go there and recap the speech and listen to it. Again, we're located in a residential area, my brothers and sisters. Please make sure that when you're leaving the masjid at the end of program tonight, please make sure that you keep the noises down. We don't want to bother our neighbors. They might go to work tomorrow or not, but we don't want to get any complaints from them as much as possible. And please help us to keep our masjid clean as much as possible. My water consumption announcement, please make sure that you're consuming water as much as you need. Please don't do israf in using the water. It's a very precious thing. As you can see, the drought is coming back. It's summertime. A lot of people are using water. So if we can use water wisely, it would be good for everyone in Southern California that we didn't have that much rain. With that being said, میریم و از معذر وجود الاسلام والمسلمین آقای مدرس استفاده میکنیم. بر سر سلامتی خودتان و آقای مدرس صلوات محمدی پسند ختم فرمایید عزیزان. اللهم صل علی محمد و آل محمد. I'm so sorry too. We found these keys. If somebody owns it, it was outside. And if you lost your reading glasses, I don't know if it's from the last Fatiha that we had last week or from us here, but it's a Jaguar as well, maybe brand kind. So there you go. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله الذي جعل الحمد مفتاحا لذكره وسببا للمزيد من فضله ودليلا على آلائه وعظمته. ثم الصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه وحبيبه حافظ سره ومبلغ رسالاته حبيب إلهنا ابن القاسم المصطفى محمد. وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المكرمين. قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن الكريم: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصادقين. Description of taqwa, it's a question that we have to pay attention, because if you understand what taqwa and what piety and virtue is, eventually we can follow the right direction, the right path. Because in history we have incidents and examples of people who thought they have taqwa, that they wrongfully assume that they are doing the right thing, but they are known to be the corrupted and the criminal at the end. And Quran also mentions that this is one of the tools of shaitan. أَفَرَأَيْتَ مَنِ اتَّخَذَ إِلَهَهُ هَوَاهُ زُيِّنَ سُوءُ عَمَلِهِ فَرَآهُ حَسَنًا. 2 ayah. The first ayah, Allah said, did you see the one who worship his ego, his nafs, like a god? So to be somebody who worship an idol, there is no reason to only think about a physical statue that you worship. According to Quran, there are people who are worshiping themselves. Their words, their opinion matter more than anything else, even if it's the word of Allah. Even if it means going against their parents. Even if it means to go against truth. And the second ayah said, Shaitan decorate the evil deed of the man. زُيِّنَ سُوءُ عَمَلِهِ فَرَآهُ حَسَنًا. When they examine their own deeds, they will see it as good. They won't consider it to do anything bad. And history are full of those examples. Even if today you talk to racists, white supremacists, xenophobes, they have reasons. They say, oh, we're protecting our heritage. The reason we're against foreigners, the reason we're against other race, is not that we are bad people or evil people. We want our culture to be preserved. They see it as something good. And that's what could be very dangerous for a human being. That is why, inshallah, the topic we started is regarding description of taqwa, that from the perspective of the teacher. Always ask yourself, who is the teacher of everything? Who is an expert of everything? And for every subject, for every field, we have experts. We have hadith by Imam Ali alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Ahmad wa Muhammad. Imam Ali said, from the sign of intellect and aql is that you ask the question from the scholars that they are expert in the matter of your question. As a person who asks the question, if you want to be an intellectual, make sure you must ask the question from the right person. We cannot blame put all the blame on the people who give the wrong answer. The one who asked the question from the wrong person also is sharing the blame and responsibility. Why? Because I gave him that attention. I gave him that space for us to provide the wrong answer. So when it comes to Islam, when it comes to Quran, when it comes to any aspects of the religion that we are proud to call ourselves Muslim, the teacher, the ultimate teacher is Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He is the teacher. Nobody is above that teacher. Even Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, they are following that teacher. Ana madinatul ilm wa aliyun babuha. The city of knowledge is Prophet. The gate is Ali. So it is important even in the case of companions of the Prophet. Our belief is the same thing. The conduct of a companion is secondary compared with the conduct of the Prophet. Prophet has everything to say about religion. The first word, the last word, the ultimate decision has to be made by Prophet. And if you see in the tradition that some people undermine that, it should be a warning sign to all of us. It should give us that awareness. Oh, something is wrong. Why in this story, a companion of the Prophet questioned Prophet's judgment? Why? Why someone who called himself a Muslim questioned Prophet's decision? That should be a warning sign for all of us. And you cannot find any example in the life of Ahlul Bayt that the messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said something and a reliable, authentic hadith of Imam Ali or Imam al-Sadiq or any of the Ahlul Bayt opposed that word. You cannot find even one. Because Prophet himself said, the family of the Prophet is supposed to protect the religion from any form of deviance and inhiraf. So to say that, go back to the subject of taqwa. What it means to have taqwa, we talked about this a bit before. That taqwa, it's a way of life that impacts every dimension of our lives. Personal, social, family, financial, political. Every aspect of our life is being affected, must be affected with taqwa. Because in all these matters, our life is related to one of these aspects. Either we're spending time with family, or is it a personal matter? Is it a community matter? Is it a global scale issue? So we have to make sure our decisions are based on taqwa. And when I say taqwa, it means that taqwa, it gives us structure. It gives us frame. You know, when you think of taqwa, imagine when you have a photo, a portrait. In order to fit the frame, sometimes you have to cut the extra, as long as it doesn't hurt the entire picture and doesn't damage it, you have to make sure it fits the frame. Taqwa is the frame. It means as human beings, we have freedom. We can say what we want, we can do what we want and what we desire. But taqwa tells us you have to have a structure to follow. Not everything you say is permissible, not everything you do is permissible. And that is taqwa. So to go based on that, because we are celebrating the Wiladat of Imam Reza alayhi salam, I would like to talk about 3 elements of taqwa according to one of the ahadith of Imam Ali ibn Musa Reza alayhi salam. Recite the salawat. And the tradition starts with saying, Inna Allah yubghid. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala likes certain action and dislikes some form of action. In Quran we have the word like and dislike, love and hate. But when you talk about God, understand that the love and dislike and the hate and dislike of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not like human being. As Allah is not influenced by emotions and manipulated by the emotion the way we are. So when we say Allah is angry, means Allah is punishing the one who is committing these acts. Allah uses the language of mankind. It's not like that Allah does not like this person, I'm going to get upset. I'm going to get angry. Like the way we get angry. When Allah loves someone, it means Allah will reward these people. Inna Allah yuhibbul muhsinin, for example. Allah loves those who are doers of good. Inna Allah yuhibbul sabirin. Allah loves those who are patient. When you say love, means Allah will reward these people. Allah will make sure that the people who exercise these good qualities will be compensated for. Not that, oh, Allah like these people because, He wants to, the way we like and dislike thing, Sometimes we like someone because we look at them and we like them. A gut feeling, right? It's a gut feeling. You see someone, you don't get along with them for some reason. It's a gut feeling. With Allah, it's not gut feeling. For Allah, all the creation will be judged based on their amal, their iman. Their actions and their faith is the standard. It's nothing to do with anything else. So in this hadith, Imam Ali, Imam Reza said, Allah disliked three individuals, three type of people. Inna Allah yubghid. Three action, let's call it not individual, three actions and three conduct are despised by Allah. It means these actions have consequences. Again, we just talk about emotion. When we hear the word, any form of label that is related to emotion, make sure with Allah is very different. Sometimes we get upset when you have a problem. We say, Ya Allah, why you did this to me, right? We get upset. What did I do wrong that you punishing me like this? Just understand, Allah is not a human being who accidentally something happened. Accidentally He punished you. He wanted to punish your neighbor. Accidentally He got upset with you. You saw that sometimes two individuals are fighting. The third person come to separate them, to make peace. The third person is being blamed by both parties. Now they attack, they find a common enemy. With Allah, it's not the story. We recite in Quran and also in Salat al-Ghufayla, in Ghufayla prayer, we also recite, وَمَا تَسْقُطُ مِنْ وَرَقَةٍ إِلَّا يَعْلَمُهَا وَلَا حَبَّةٍ فِي ظُلُمَاتِ الْأَرْضِ وَلَا رَطْبٍ وَلَا يَابِسٍ إِلَّا فِي كِتَابٍ مُبِينٍ. This means there is no accident and coincidence in the system and the design of Allah. A leaf will not fall from a tree except Allah knows about it. And do you think a problem you have, Allah doesn't know about it? Even a seed, وَلَا حَبَّةٍ فِي ظُلُمَاتِ الْأَرْضِ, a seed that is being hidden in the darkness of the earth, and different, underneath of earth, that nobody knows there is a seed there. Allah knows about it. About a seed, imagine when farmers are planning to prepare the land when it comes for the crop, right? How many billions of seed, imagine, are being scattered around the world? Billions. And Allah said, وَلَا حَبَّةٍ فِي ظُلُمَاتِ الْأَرْضِ. Even that seed, imagine this is the language of Allah 1,500 years ago almost. So if that seed, we know exactly what's happening. Nothing is coincident. When you plant a seed in your garden and you see it's growing, Allah knows about that one too. وَلَا رَطْبٍ وَلَا يَابِسٍ. Nothing wet or dry, nothing fresh or old exists unless Allah knows about it. So understand, emotions that we experience is nothing to do with Allah. Because our emotions, a lot of them have imperfection. Some of them are even in the wrong time, in the wrong place, at the wrong person. We should be upset and we're happy sometimes. We should be upset and we're happy. And we should be happy we're upset. There's so many examples of that. So what are the three actions Imam Reza alayhi salam said that it inshallah fit in the category of taqwa? Inna Allah yubghidul qila wal qal. Number one is qilu qal. Qil wa qal means people who are noisy. They shout and scream. Qil wa qal means, in a, I think, closest definition in English language that we can find, people who are involved in arguments all the time. Qil wa qal. Pointless arguments. Even they have an ayah in Quran, Allah said, do not raise your voice. Don't scream. Don't shout. إِنَّ أَنْكَرَ الْأَصْوَاتِ لَصَوْتُ الْحَمِيرِ. So the most dislikable sound that you can find is the sound of a donkey because it's too loud. So why you're screaming? This is unfortunately sometimes goes back to habits of being loud. Sometimes you have to be loud so somebody hear you. I remember I give this lecture in a different community, and after a few nights, one of the family members came and complained. Said, Sheikh, what did you say? I said, what do you mean? He said, my husband already was very quiet, and since you give this hadith, we cannot even hear him. He wants to say, pass the salt. He said so quietly that we need hearing aid to hear him. So there's balance. Sometimes you have to, raise your voice. There's an accident. Almost, if you don't scream, accident will happen. You scream in order to prevent that. So you understand there's a right time for it. But in normal conversation, you know what? One thing about the jahil we have in some of the sayings, that the jahil, what it does is that the more wrong they become, the louder they get. They think the louder they become is somehow is going to cover their ignorance. Said, you were wrong. No, you don't know. Said, but brother, you were wrong. No, and you can see the level is increasing. Even in relationship and marriage is the same issue, right? That one side started screaming without, again, any necessity for it. Because sometimes people are afraid of the scream, not the logic behind it, right? A lot of time people are just, say, whatever you say. Not because I accept your reason and logic. Why? Why is the reason? Just keep it down. Just keep it down, whatever you say. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُبْغِضُ الْقِيلَ وَالْقَالَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like people who scream, shout. They start arguments. They disrupt peace. So if you have that personality, reconsider. Our Prophet, read the hadith and tradition about our Prophet, what kind of conversation he had with people. Even with people who opposed him. That smile never disappeared from his face. Even with his opponents and enemies. That is the challenge. With people you like, it's normal to have a normal conversation. The mastership of this quality is when you're dealing with people who have an opposite argument. They're against you. That is the moment to test yourself. Not right now that you're talking with somebody you have no issue. That's the reason, inshallah, when you go to Hajj, وَلَا فُسُوغَ وَلَا جِدَالَ فِي الْحَجِّ. If somebody start a jidal, one of those arguments, one of these qil wa qal, you start an argument, a fight, a verbal fight, you have to pay kafara for it.
Monday.com is a platform to manage.
Whatever you have a disagreement. Of course, Saudi government doesn't let you, especially in Medina. Thank God we are not wearing ihram. Because they don't let you. You're praying, they come and say something. And all jidal, they look, you're praying is shirk. You're praying is some form of curse word come. I'm telling you, inshallah, to know that when you go, you have to separate the story of al-Saud and the Saudi government from the sacred land of Mecca and Medina. They're totally different. The same way a lot of, in the time of the Rasulullah, pagans and idol worshippers and Abu Sufyan were in charge of Mecca. It's not that surprising that people like al-Saud are in charge of it now. It happens. After the Shahada of Imam Hussein, who was in charge of Mecca? Abdullah ibn Zubayr. What kind of person he was? Read in history. So it's not that the history of Mecca and Medina shows that good people govern on those lands. Unfortunately, never did. Bani Umayyah or Bani Abbas, worse than one, worse than another replaced. So it's not that surprising and shocking that why Al Saud is governing. It's a history of that. And that's why, inshallah, the coming of the Imam will be from there. Not from Mashhad, not from Karbala. It should start from the source. The reformation must come from the heart, where the Islam start beating. That's number one. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Imam Reza said, dislike qil, let's lower our tune. I'm telling myself, and inshallah, you keep it for yourself. Lower your tune. If somebody is screaming, do not compete in screaming with them. It's not a competition. The second one, Imam Reza alayhi salam said, Allah dislike is the one who destroyed their wealth. Tadyi'ul mal. Tadyi'ul zayi', dhaya in Arabic means when you waste it. Mal is your property, your wealth. Imam said, Allah despises people who Allah gave him a blessing and they waste it. Because I have a bank account, I have to finish it. Because I have the money, I have to buy whatever I want. And then who we blame? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God forbid for it. It is very important that one of the qualities of a true believer is that they have aql ma'ishat, intellect for livelihood. Means you have the ability to manage your financial life. Especially for the younger people, I highly recommend you to make a research to understand about financial responsibility. A lot of us, unfortunately, especially I'm talking about the youngsters, your parents, they came here as immigrants. They're not very familiar with credit card. They usually never even go through the process of getting a loan or a student loan and all that. So for you, you are the first generation to deal with it. But it is not an excuse for you to have ignorance about the system. Educate yourself, read about it, search online, books, people, counseling. People who already went the same path as you. Our generation need financial responsibilities. Don't give your children cash, I'm telling you. Especially youngsters. Because you don't know what they do with the money, and then you said, I give them a lot of money, I try to, and you cannot even help them in that. A debit card is more reasonable. This is a practical tip I'm giving you. Because with a debit card, you can see how they spend their money. And I don't think especially for the youngsters, for especially teenagers, they need cash for anything. Anywhere nowadays you go, definitely they're going to accept debit card. And please ignore the 35-cent charge. Ignore it. It's better to help your children learn, see, based on this is how much you spend for this is how much you spend for this, what's right, what's wrong. Being frugal, being economical is very different from being stingy. Islam says don't be cheap. Let's say sometimes you go out and you want to give somebody, you want to buy him a cup of coffee, that's fine. Don't be stingy. But to be the one that always you're the one paying for everything every time, that's not reasonable. That's being somebody who's taking advantage of you. Know the balance. There's sometimes people are too stingy and there are people who are wasteful. The balance, as I said, is iqtisad, moderation. Moderation. And Imam Reza said, Allah does not like people who they waste and destroy their wealth. The entire ayah in Quran is about this. When you do infaq, when you do charity, don't do too much to a level that you become needy yourself. Don't do not enough that you become stingy and bakhil, that you become a collector. Balance. Even in infaq, you have to have balance. Yes, Allah give you rizq, Allah give you ruzi, all that is right. But you have to save money for a down payment. You have to. Nobody can ignore that. Allah is the one who is a sustainer, provider, raziq, razzaq. He is. But we should be the one understanding how to use the utilities and the means Allah provided for us. If I'm not paying off my debt, who's going to pay it off? So ya Allah, inshallah, give Allahumma qdi dayna kulli madin, right? We make that dua, Ya Allah, provide for my debt. And Allah gives you to provide and you use it for something else. I like a new car. You have debt, but the new car is something else. Or I have to make this trip. You have loan. No, but this trip, you live once. You live once. You have some excuse for everything. Understanding priorities. And alhamdulillah, recently, even, millennials, even college and universities figure out that millennials have issue with money. They're offering classes, literally in community colleges, even in Harvard, Stanford, they offer classes for personal finance. Take a class in personal finance. Don't focus all your effort for dunya. That's not what I'm saying. I think our children they're too involved in their dunya. They think about a job too early. Balance it, but when you actually talk about money, teach them how to spend it. Teach them. Sometimes we ask about upgrading. I have to ask myself, why should I upgrade my phone? Why? What's the need? Does it work? Does it do what you need? Why everybody have a new phone? I'm the only one. This is the worst excuse I've heard, and everybody have it. Everybody else has one. Why I should be the one not having? And people, when they are posting photos of whatever they buy, you say it doesn't affect me. I watch it, but I don't care. There are studies that shows it does affect you. You will be less happy. If you see 20 people post a photo of a $50,000 car that they got for driving, and you got an $18,000 car, how is not going to impact you enjoying that $18,000? Why you should even involve yourself in that comparison game? Why? My dear brothers and sisters, try it. Even professionals in tech industry, they're doing it. They call it tech detox. It means that once a month, for a few days, they don't use any electronic, any social media, none. And do that for a few days. Don't check Twitter, don't check Instagram, don't check Facebook. And come back after a few days, see what happened. What did you miss, really? Someone in another corner of the world, they had a, celebration for some excuse and some reason. So good for them. What did you miss? And what you done instead, I'm saying don't watch it and do something better instead. Read something. Pick up a book and read it. Honestly, if I ask you, how many of you read a book about Islam? In the last year, how many books you can list? Inshallah, a lot. Because it's your faith. Everybody else updating their information about your religion. They're attacking our religion day and night. Social media, in college, in campus. To be a believer, you're under attack. Forget about being a Muslim and a believer. God is under attack because of, secularism, liberalism is taking over. And you should have some answer. How you can get the answer without reading? They read more about our religion than we know. Forget about religion. How many books outside the subject, any subject we read in the last year? I'm not talking about textbook. I'm not talking about the books that your teacher said you must read. And I'm not talking about comic books. Except these, how many books we read? Inshallah, at least a couple of them. At least. Allah dislikes people who waste their wealth. And the last one, recite another salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. The last one, Imam Ali said, وَكَثْرَةُ السُّؤَالِ. Another action that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala despises, is people who are begging and asking all the time. Su'al in this case, we're not talking about questions, people asking questions. Su'al is about asking people for something. Can I borrow this? Can I have that? Can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? People who are always asking people for something. We need each other. We have in the time of one of the Imam, somebody was making dua, Ya Allah, don't make me to be dependent on any human being. And Imam said, you're praying for your death. Because the only one who's self-sufficient, the one who does not need any other person is Allah. Everyone else, we need people. We need our parents to bring us to this life. We need them to raise us. We need a teacher to educate us. We need people all the time. So don't make this dua. Because that means literally, there's a sense of arrogance. Oh, I don't want to need people. But if you want to make a good dua, said, Ya Allah, don't make me to be the dependent of the evil people, the wrong people, the stingy people. Don't make me be in need of them. If you're dealing with a kareem, with a generous, it's much easier to be dependent on them rather than dealing with somebody who's, God forbid, doesn't even take care of themselves, forget about helping you. That is a dua you have to make. Ya Allah, don't let me be dependent or in need of sharru khalqik, the worst of your people, the worst of the creation. Don't make me dependent of them. Kathratu su'al is don't become the worst of people. The one who always consume, the one who always uses and take advantage of people's help. But when it comes to the moment of helping, I have nothing. My hand is empty. If I come and do a service, I expect you to pay me, right? Because it's my job. But if you come and do something for me, I expect you to forgive. We're brother in faith. We pray next to each other, right? Give me a discount. Even in Masjid, I've been saying from the beginning of the Masjid, I remember I said, anybody who would bring to Masjid to do some work, we have to pay them. If they want to give charity, it's up to them. Give them the money, then they want to put it in the bucket or not, is up to them. But they have to be paid well. Because if Masjid, the house of Allah, and the same reason when we were in that rental place, the place before here, there was some issue before leaving regarding the contract. That if you want to leave earlier, it would have been some penalties and all that. And some even suggested if you leave, they cannot do anything about it. You know, they have nothing, you know, to go to the court and force us to pay. And I said, forget about court or force or anything. We are their tenant. We are somebody that we have to be the best model for a renter. Because this is Masjid. If a Masjid has the worst behavior, why do we even care about what we do with, you know, our own renters? And same reason when we are leaving the Masjid, don't worry about, oh, they're going to complain and they come and shut down the Masjid. Forget about that. That should not be the reason. The first reason should be because as a Muslim, our neighbors has to be safe. They have to be happy with us. If a neighbor, they don't have the right, they're the one complaining, we should not give him excuse to complain. We should not. Why? Not because of the fear of consequences. Because as a Muslim, we have to be a model neighbor. How many times we read about the tradition, prophets, you know, emphasized so much, repeated over and over about the right of neighbors that people thought that they're like relative. That even we have to give them some inheritance, some earth as well. There was so much emphasis on that. So inshallah is enough. 3 qualities, and you can list under taqwa. A muttaqi, a virtuous, a pious human being, is not a person of qiluqal, is not a person of shouting and screaming and raising their voice. A man of argument. You cannot find him in that. And the other 2 qualities, what was the second one? Let's see inshallah how many of you are following. Do not waste your wealth. Don't put yourself in misery. Learn financial responsibility. Aql ma'ishat. We have to learn how to take care of ourselves with the blessing of Allah. It means whatever income you have to know your expenses. It means you must have saving for the just in case emergencies. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean if I have some money that is clean, is halal clean, on the side just in case for what we call an emergency fund. Is that against tawakkul? Is that against relying on Allah? Of course not. Because a lot of problems, no money can take care of that problem. Which money can do? But some small problems can be resolved with that. And the last one, the third one, kathratu su'al. Those who are beggars, users, they ask questions a lot. Question, not question of knowledge. Question of request. They have a lot of requests. Once in a while is fine. Sometimes in the time of need, that's fine. Right? In the time of need, we have to understand. Let's say somebody who never called us. Today, they're calling us because they just lost their job. It makes sense for them to contact us more often. We should not blame them for that. But let's say there are some individuals, even if they have money, they call you. They don't have money, they call you. Then they expect free stuff all the time. And if you ask a person to work for you, treat them the way you want to be treated. If you expect people to work for them and they don't charge you, you don't charge them, expect the same thing from people. Okay, they're not going to charge me either. It's a fair trait. But if I'm charging them for a service, don't expect them to give me a free service. You have that, is the night of the Wiladat. You have the story that somebody sent his son to the neighbor's house, said, go borrow the ladder. We need the ladder. So the son went. After a few minutes came back and said, Father, the neighbor said, we need our own ladder. We cannot give it to you. Said, go again, beg them. You probably did not tell them that we really need it. We're going to give it back to them quickly. So, okay. He went for the second time, taken longer, came back after 10 minutes. Said, Dad, I insisted, I begged. They said, we need it. We're not going to give you. So, but this time go and literally put yourself on their feet. Beg as hard as you can. Don't let their feet go unless they give you the ladder. So he went. After half an hour came. So whatever I did, they grabbed me and kicked me out of their house. They didn't give me. The father said, what is stingy people? Go bring our own ladder. Go. This is kathratu su'al. This is kathratu su'al. These are examples that we can use in so many different platforms. May Allah inshallah give us the tawfiq to be one of the muttaqeen from the pious and virtuous. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. فارسی انشالله هفته دیگه، امشب دیر شده، انشالله هفته دیگه فارسی صحبت خواهم کرد. قول میدیم که مقدار طولانی تر، حالا هفته دیگه قرار بود کوتاه فارسی صحبت کنیم، ولی هفته دیگه انشالله یه مقدار طولانی تر فارسی صحبت خواهیم کرد که حق فارسی زبانان قضا نشود و خدا انشالله بابری علی ابن موسی رضا علیه السلام عاقبت